I can't see anything on that phone. Good morning, you beautiful, sexy weirdos. Good morning, Hope. I knew you'd be the first one. Thank you. Good morning, Kathleen. How are you? Happy Friday the 13th. Isla, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Wow, okay, we're getting a whole bunch of people tuning in. Becky, good morning. Good to see you. Sonia, hello. Good morning. Happy Friday the 13th, everybody. Is everybody nervous to leave their houses today? Oh, hold on, I can't see. Carla, good morning. From Wisconsin. Oh, nice. Very nice. Thanks for tuning in. It's raining cats and dogs here. Kathleen, you're in Wisconsin, so's Carla. Look at that. I know it's a big state. There's a lot of people. It's really not that surprising. But it's surprising to me, darn it. What are the other things that are supposed to happen today, Hope? I can see my breath in this car. What are the other things that are supposed to happen today? Please tell me, because I'm not aware. Let me act like I'm not doing anything wrong or driving by police. I mean, I'm not doing anything wrong, actually, because I don't have the phone in my hand, but I always feel like I'm doing something wrong. Stay out of cities because of demonstrations. Oh, yeah, well. Yeah. You always have to be wary about all that stuff. I gotta comb my beard, man. It looks like crap. Pardon while I do that. I think you always gotta worry about that stuff. We live in a world where people are just not happy. People are not happy, and I don't blame them. You know, the leaders are not doing their jobs the way that they should be. Their first concern is not us. Their first concern is themselves and their pockets. That's their concern. Um, and, you know, this is not the same country it was 40 years ago, 50 years ago. You know, I talked about it the other night. We used to be the United States of America, and now we're the divided States of America, and it isn't necessarily our fault, although yes, some of it lies on our shoulders. It's because they pump those fear campaigns, they pump that division. Every time you turn around, they're telling you about why you shouldn't get along with your neighbor, how you're different, how there's, if you're a Republican and they're a Democrat, then you guys should not be friends, and there should be a line like this. The political parties, I think, is one of the biggest issues in this country. People just blindly choose a side, and most people don't even think about what that side is doing, because neither of them are doing a good job. They all suck. Republicans and Democrats, both sides suck. If any of us were smart, and I'm not putting anybody down, please, I'm not saying that, I'm just saying as a country as a whole, if we were smart and we weren't afraid, we'd stop looking at a political line and we'd look at who would be the best person to fit that position and make this country better. And a lot of people don't do that. Some people do, but a lot of people don't. They just go, nope, I'm a Democrat and that's it. I'm a Republican and that's it. But I don't want to get into politics. I just wish that this, yeah, you're right. Two sides of a corrupt coin. Absolutely, you are right. I don't want to get into politics, but this is just, our country is not in a good place. The world's not in a good place, and it sucks. But let's talk about something better than that. Good morning, Lady Wolf. How are you, darling? What's up, Salty? Howdy, 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 bruh. You're just watching Mission Impossible eating pizza. That sounds like a good day. That sounds like a good day. Yes, we have to stay vigilant. Must. All the time. Grace, good morning. Nancy McDonald, good morning. I'm doing okay, thank you. So let's talk about something better than politics, because that'll bring everybody down. What the hell was that? What was that noise? Was I riding on those things in the side of the road? That scared the crap out of me. I think I veered off a little bit and was hitting those, yeah, it must have been. Just not making that. It scared the crap out of me. Yep, that's exactly what happened. I was hitting those things inside the road that are supposed to wake up sleeping people who start to veer off. I am just going to the store real quick. I just got done feeding the cat. Grandpa came again, thank God. Thank God he's figured out that we can't go to that house and that he's okay coming down the road a little ways, and now he knows where to go. So I'm grateful for that. She's still confused, which really bums me out. Like, she keeps trying to lead me into the yard to go sit with her, and I just keep telling her, like, honey, I can't go there anymore. Come sit with me over here, and she just isn't getting it yet. But it'll be okay. She'll be okay. Does anybody know? Hello? Yes, hello? Did I miss something? Hi, Nancy. Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me? Does anybody know where this whole Friday the 13th superstition comes from? It's not the movie, although that didn't help. Yeah, she'll figure it out, Isla. She will. It just bums me out, We had our routine, and I love to be able to sit with her and let her nap in my lap for a while. And obviously, she felt safe there. Templars, no, not from what, I mean, maybe there could be something tied to them too. So the two things that I heard that I know of is from Norse mythology. Loki crashed a dinner or a party or something that he wasn't supposed to be at, and there were 13 that made it so there were 13 gods in the room, and I guess that's not a good thing in Norse tradition. The other thing that I heard goes to the Bible and Judas being the 13th person to come to the Last Supper, and then that was on Thursday, and Friday the next day was the day that Jesus was crucified. So kind of those two things were combined into, like, the 13th being Judas was the 13th person at the dinner, and then Jesus was crucified the very next day on Friday. So they combine these two things, which happens often people combine things that maybe one thing has kind of a meaning and another thing, and they try to tie them together in certain ways. But that's what I heard. Now, there could be other legends or myths or history out there. Yes, low key is used in our vernacular quite a bit. Oh, okay. So it was a Templar thing too. Okay. Drive safe. Oh, nice, Grace. That's amazing. That's awesome. Joe and Jesse are there. Um, Dewey will be there. Doug Hychek will be there. I don't know if Alex is there this weekend or not. I think he is. I think. But next weekend, I'm going out with Alex Petikoff, Mike Lucci, Brian and Chewy, and a couple other of his buddies to Coos County, New Hampshire, for a camp out weekend to investigate wood devil sightings in the area, which obviously is just another term for Sasquatch up there. But that's great. You're going to have a great time down there, Grace. There's so many cool people who are going to be there. I believe Martin, hopefully Martin will be there. I know he's feeling better, so hopefully he'll be there. So I have some really exciting guests coming up on the show. Like I said, it takes time to like get back in the groove. It's really hard to try to get a hold of people sometimes. Like, people have Facebook accounts doesn't mean that they ever are on them or they ever check them. So if you can't get a hold of somebody through Facebook Messenger, you're pretty much asked out, like if you don't know them personally. So I've been trying to get a hold of certain people and had a very hard time with some of them, and finally one gentleman, I'm so excited to have this guy come on the show. I've been trying to get him, to come on for about a year. I'm not going to give his name yet. It should be tomorrow night. If everything works out, it should be tomorrow night. You will want to tune in. It will be an amazing episode. All I will say is he had some very, very intense, incredible activity at his home that traumatized him and his family. Part of the reason why he was hesitant to come on is because they like to leave that time in their life, that door closed. It did a lot of damage. But he's willing to come on, and I told him, I said, listen, I don't want to push you to do anything you don't want to do, but if you're going to go on any show ever, this is the show. The people in the chat will treat you with kindness and respect. And if at any moment you feel like you don't want to talk anymore, we stop the show. That's it. At the end of the day, my goal and my job is to make sure that my guests feel safe and comfortable. And that's that. But it will be a really, really good show. Then my buddy James Brost, I don't know if you remember James. James is part of the group that went down and filmed the documentary in Utah with the Res Squatching, the tribe out there, the Native American tribe out there, the Situnga documentary. He went and filmed that. He's also done the Swamp Ape Experiments series. He reached out, said that they had that Amazon is releasing their newest documentary, The Conjuring House Experiments, and he wanted to come back on the show because last time went so well, and he would love to talk about it after I watched the movie. So hopefully that movie will release in the next couple weeks. I'll watch it and then have him on the show to discuss it, and I will let you know when it releases so that you guys can go watch it also. Perfect. Hopefully it's before Halloween, but it may not be. Sean Wagner, who is part of the CARC, Mike Lucci's group and Chuck Larson's group, the guys from This Week in Bigfoot, Brendan, that whole group, they have an offshoot of the CARC, which is a paranormal sect, and Sean runs that. Sean is going to come on the show on the 25th, and he's going to discuss some of the paranormal investigations that he is going on and some of the crazy stuff that he's seen and experienced while he was doing that. And then my buddy Chris Reinhardt from Discover Sasquatch. Chris lives in Connecticut. He lives on the other end of the state, which is historically where most of the reports came from for a very long time. It's where the Winstead Wildman is from. Chris lives there in Winstead. If you watch his channel, and I urge you to go watch his channel and watch some of his old videos, he has a property that he's been investigating for years, and they're there for sure. They constant stick structures and tree structures constantly changing all the time, footprints, orbs, and now things have ramped up a lot. There are some very, very strange things going on there. He's been working with Doug Highcheck and MK Davis and a couple other guys trying to figure out what the hell's going on. He's going to come on the show. We don't have a date set yet. He should be getting back to me in the next day or two. And then Al, our good friend Al Santariga, the Squatch Father, is going to be back on the show to discuss some of his more intense extraterrestrial encounters, which should be very, very interesting. So that's just the tip of the iceberg for what's coming. Dewey will be back. Dewey's going to co-host the show with me from time to time. I love having Dewey on. Dewey's just a sweetheart of a guy. He's so fun to talk to. He tells such an amazing story, and he's been doing this for so long that, like, we probably haven't heard even, a sliver of all the stuff that guy's experienced in his life. But I just love having him on. He's just very fun to talk to and bounce things off of, and he's a wonderful dude. So he'll be co-hosting the show with me from time to time. It makes it more fun for me too, especially if we don't have a guest and I just want to do a topic-based show. Then I have somebody who's right there to bounce things off of and have that back and forth banter. So that's always awesome. And I am working on trying to get more encounters, like people's personal encounters, back on the show. It's so difficult, man. I've been contacted by no less, and since I started this channel, by no less than 30 people who have had encounters of some sort, and only like 3 of them have wanted to come on the show. That's where the tough thing, like, that's where it gets difficult. And I would never push anybody because I get it. Like, some of it's very difficult to talk about. It's hard for people. They don't want people to know. No, there's 13 people on here on the 13th. I'm showing 12. No, now 10. Old Spirit Art, what's up? Good to see you. I'm better, yeah. I mean, I was physically sick. I got physically sick twice. I had like kidney issues, really bad kidney stones and a kidney infection on top of it, and a UTI. The kidney infection and the stones really knocked me back pretty hard. And then after that, I thought I was getting like some bug. I was sick. I didn't feel good. And ended up waking up one morning after I'd felt kind of crappy for 2 days, and I knew immediately what was going on. I had a bad tooth infection, and I was in terrible, terrible, terrible pain for days. Um, Prior to that, like I had to take some time off just because there was a lot of personal stuff, a lot of changes going on in my life, and I just needed time. As it is, things happen. Um, hey, Steven, welcome, Steven. Everybody, welcome, Steven. Thank you. Very happy to have you here, man. Like I always say, I'm a broken record. I'm always very grateful whenever anybody decides to take their time to come watch this channel, and my goofy behind. Um, it means more to me than you know. We all have lives, we all have things going on, so whenever you choose to take the most valuable thing that you have in your life, which is time, and spend it with me, it means a lot. So thank you very much. Hopefully I can do it justice. Um, and the people in the chat here are just amazing, dude. And I mean that with everything. They are amazing. It's the best group of people you will find on YouTube, hands down. So yeah, so that's yeah, it's not fun. It's very painful, very painful stuff. Um, so go having kidney stones and then go into this tooth infection. I'm going to tell you the truth. If you've never had a tooth infection, like a bad one, this got into my jaw. Kidney stones felt like a massage compared to the tooth infection. That's how bad the pain was. It's like you sit there and you contemplate things that you would never normally contemplate. Like, what do I do to get rid of this pain? Like, I am thinking about doing bad things because I can't handle this pain anymore. Um, it's tough. Oh, well, thank you for watching. I hate to hear that there's um, misunderstanding. It happens, it happens in this YouTube community. It's difficult because chatting on a screen, um, it's just like texting. People can't tell the inflection and the tone of what you're saying sometimes. So people try to say things, um, jokingly, and then it doesn't come across jokingly, and then people take them the wrong way, and then you have these misunderstandings. Sometimes it's more than that, sometimes it's less than that. Hey, Stitch, welcome. Yeah, it's just unfortunate. I hate that. I hate to hear that there's any misunderstandings and, um, you know, bad or hinky energy. Exactly. Communications, like 85% of communication is nonverbal. So when you're just typing, you're missing so much. You're missing so many cues. But just know, Old Spirit, that, we love you here. We're very happy to have you here. If you have any trouble, you let me know, and hopefully we'll square it away. Spiritual scary before I got saved. Well, I believe it. Yeah, it is, Old Spirit. There's a lot of stuff going on in the community right now that's really crappy. It's really shitty. I just stay out of it. Like, I'm in my space where we have this space here, and this space right here is usually pretty safe. I tend to keep, I intend to keep it that way. I intend to keep it that way. Yes, I'm in New England, Stephen. Yep, I'm in New England. I'm in Connecticut, man. I'm in Connecticut. Uh, I southeastern Connecticut. Usually, my research areas are in northeastern Connecticut and southeastern Massachusetts right now. Yep, I have a very, very promising, active, private piece of land in southeastern Mass. Yeah, sometimes I say a bad word here and there. I'm not perfect. Sometimes I say bad words. I try, but you know, I'm not perfect. It's part of who I am. Let's do it, bro. Listen, I say this all the time. I have nobody here. I'm out by myself all the time. I do this all alone. How long would it take to drive across Connecticut? If I went just east to west, about an hour and 20 or 30 minutes if there's no traffic. If there's traffic, it would take a lot longer, which there usually is once you start getting down to the western side of the state, because that's where people travel back and forth from New York into Connecticut and vice versa. If I was to go from the southeast corner to the northwest corner, it's pretty close to the same, about an hour and 40 maybe. Top to bottom, about an hour. Yeah, I'm okay. Flannel voltage, welcome. I'm okay. Are you okay? Every time I say what? I crack you up. Every time I say what? Pathetic it. I coined that term. Don't let I coined that term years ago. I started calling it pathetic it when I was in high school. Okay, Stitch, thank you for dropping in. Appreciate you. Have a great day. Happy Friday the 13th. I don't know what everybody else calls it. That's what I call it. Listen, I love New England. I do. I love it because there's a lot of history here. Halloween here is usually pretty fun, especially because we have Salem, Massachusetts, which is probably the biggest Halloween celebration in the country every year for the whole month of October. Every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that whole town is one big giant Halloween celebration, which is so fun. Um, so I love New England. I love the way it looks here. I love that I'm by the water. I love all those things. I love that we have seasons here. Connecticut is just a pretty boring state. It is. It's just boring. There's just not a lot to do here. British themed. Get out of here. We'll have the New England party. We'll have giant barrels of tea. We'll dump them in the ocean. Yeah, New England is beautiful. It really is. Yep. We're fortunate in that respect. We have the water, so you get to see the ocean. Summertime by the ocean is always beautiful. Um, Fall here is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. You don't there's not many places in the country where you get the range of colors in the trees like we have here. Um, and then we have we can have some winter that's tough. Winter can be tough here at times. It goes back and forth. Usually, kind of like you'll get a bad year, then you'll get a mild year, then you may have another bad year. You get a couple mild years. It just varies. Um, and so, if we get a bunch of nor'easters, we get pounded with snow where I'm at. That's because I'm on the shore. So generally, we get less snow, like the least amount of snow than the rest of the state, because the ocean water is still warmer than the air. So that usually keeps the snow from snowing. It turns to rain when it gets here. But nor'easters is when we get pounded, and we get those. We get pounded. We had one a couple years ago that dropped, I think, 34 inches on us in one storm, and I think that was only in uh, like 7 or 8 hours or something like that. Oh, I can show you the water sometime. Yeah, I'll definitely show you the water. I should show you guys Mystic. Mystic's really pretty. It's a really cool little town. It's only about 15 minutes away. Do I like jazz? I mean, I like jazz. I'm not like fluent in jazz. I don't know a whole lot about jazz, but I do like jazz. Where are you at, Lady Wolf? You're like, aren't you, the other side of the country? Yeah, Mystic, isn't it so cool? It's such a neat little town. Oh, you're in Jersey. Okay, yeah, all right. Okay. Yeah, so you know the weather here. But you're a little bit further south, so your weather can be different from ours even. Yeah, Mystic is such a neat little town. I'll bring you guys there. I'll show you Mystic. You'll like it. Yeah, I like you. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know you had a poltergeist story. Do you like me, Flannel? Ooh, old spirit art. I disagree. I disagree. You mean here it's cooler? It's not. It's not cooler. It is. Listen, I think that's like a common misconception. It's hot as it's hot as Hades here, and we have such high humidity. It's nasty. Our summer here, like we'll so okay. If we're lucky, we won't start getting the real bad heat until like the middle of June. So we'll be like in the 70s and 80s into the middle of June, but it'll still be um, humid. So those 80s will feel much warmer than 80 or 82 degrees. Um, After June, July, August, we're talking at least mid 80s into the 90s and 80 to 95% humidity almost every day. It's terrible. Terrible. Once you get into like northern Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, that's really where the it becomes cooler. Connecticut, like in Connecticut and southern Massachusetts, we don't feel that. We still have really warm summers. It's nasty. Yeah, exactly, lady. It's nasty. I can't stand the humidity, old spirit. I used to like the heat. I hate it now. I can't stand it. I am not built for the heat anymore. Steven, if you're here still and you want to do some investigating, Hope, can you put my email up there? Can you do that for me? Do you remember it? I can't breathe, man. My allergies have been bad lately. Yes, it is. It is an all four season state. Although our spring is getting much shorter, and sometimes our fall does too. If we get one of those bad, uh, if we get those bad winters that start early, then our fall only lasts like a couple weeks, a month. I mean, we've had ice storms in October here that shut down the state and power for weeks. It's all lowercase. Kyle 4180 CONN